Okay, good morning. This video is for SNHU DAD-220 Introduction to SQL 18EW3. The purpose of this video is to show how to use the source function in Codio to deal with, first of all, to just kind of streamline your work, because I think it's easier to deal in a source file than it is to work right out of a terminal. But additionally, the terminal has been unstable recently and is causing crashes, and this issue has been reported. So the issue has been raised up the flag, and I'm sure people are going to be working on it very soon, if not already. So we'll begin here. I'm in the personal playground area, and this is where the milestones are done. But please note that this technique can be used on the assignments as well, so it's not just for milestones. So I'll open a terminal here, and we've got a terminal going. MySQL is not running yet, so I'm going to start MySQL. And in the assignments, these terminal windows will already be open, and oftentimes MySQL is already running as well. So you may not have to do that. In any case, we are now running MySQL. So what I wanted to do is put together just a quick sample of how I might go about doing a milestone or even an assignment in such a way that I'm not reliant on this terminal window staying around for very long. So I'm going to count on this thing going away at any given time, and during this video it may well go away because it's right now, like I said, it's been unstable. So instead of working directly in this window, I'm going to be using a file, and for this purpose of this demo, I'm going to be creating a dog owner sample database where I'm going to add some dog records and then some owner records, and then relate those in an intersection table called dog owner. So to begin, I'm going to open a file, and I'll call it dog source. This is going to contain the source SQL for everything I'm doing. So note that creating a file did in fact reset the terminal, and there it goes. It's reset. So here's our dog source. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the dog database, which doesn't exist yet, but that's all right. I'm going to drop it if it does exist. So drop database if exists dogs. And then the next statement is I'm going to create database dogs. So that will drop if exists and recreate it. And there's the terminal crash. So we got off to a quick start on this one. The terminal went away. Again, I don't know why that's occurring, but it doesn't matter because we've got everything in here. I did not lose any of this SQL. Apparently these files are immune to it, to these crashes. So I'm going to restart the terminal, that little button right there. And I'm going to open MySQL. And now here's the magic command here to source the SQL statements out of this file. I'm going to type source and then the name of this file, which is called dog source, dog_source, and run. Okay, that was the equivalent of running these statements straight into the terminal. I can prove that by saying show databases, and there's my dogs database. All right, so moving on. going back to the source script, and again, expecting this terminal to go away at any moment. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use dogs. So that will use the dogs database. This doesn't have to be case sensitive, but do it anyway. And now I'm going to create a table called dog. And dog is going to have an ID, which is an int4. And I'm going to introduce an error intentionally here. I'm going to leave something out and then go back and fix it to show you how to fix things when they go wrong. So 255, oops. So dog has an ID, dog has a name. A breed, and a color. Okay, so I end up with a semicolon. So I'm going to test what I've got here so far. Switch back and source dog underscore source. All right, that looked like it worked. I don't see any issues. So just describe dog. So there's that. So we've got our dog table. All right, now I'm going to insert some data into the dog table. Insert into dog. I'm going to be providing its name, its breed, and its color. And then here are the values. Ebby is a Brussels Griffin, and she is red. And then I'm just copying and pasting to make life easy here. Baxter is a Brussels Griffin who is also, he's a Brussels Griffin, but he's black. And let's see, Penny, who is a Yorkie, who is copper. And Bradley is going to do 4 dogs. There's a Yorkie who is gray. And end with a semicolon. So let me run this in here. Source dog. All right, so everything ran without, looks like without errors. So let's look at the dog database, the actual data. Select star from dog. Okay, and here's our issue. ID. This was supposed to be an auto-incrementing field, but I forgot about it. And so now I need to go fix it. And note that every time I'm running this dog source, everything is running here. So every time I run, the database is dropped and it's recreated. And I use dogs, and this table is created, and this insert runs. So just take note that we're not editing something that's existing and not going away. This thing's going away and being recreated every time. So let me make some modifications here to this create table statement and make this an auto increment, and then set the auto increment seed value to 100. So that should now make this an auto incrementer starting at 100. Every row that's created after after 100 will just increment by 1. So all right, so we've got an issue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look here and then figure out what it's telling me and then go back to the source and edit it. So incorrect table. There can only be one auto, and it must be defined as a key. Okay, so I didn't define this as a key, and I need to. So I need to say that this is the primary key is ID. That should fix it. Let's try it. Okay. Looks like it worked. So let's look at the data. So start from dog. All right. That looks better. Keys. So continue. Now that we got the dogs, we're going to do the owners. And I'm going to copy and paste. So this is going to be owner. And owner has an ID as well. And a name. And that's all. And we'll auto increment at the same seed value. And let's go ahead and add some owner records. Owner. And I'm going to be supplying the name. And then here comes the values. So the owners are just going to do 2. Doug and Mary. This is another great feature of editing SQL in these files is that you get to be lazy and use copy and paste. So that looks close. Let's try it. Source dog underscore source. Okay. Let's look at the data. Select star from owner. All right. And now for the last piece of the puzzle, which is the intersection table. I got a couple of questions about what is an intersection table and what's different about it. There's nothing different about it. It's simply a table that relates to possibly more other tables. So this intersection table is going to relate owner and dog. And I'm going to call it dog owner. And I'm not going to use auto increments for this one. We're just going to have 2 columns in here, dog ID and owner ID. And these are 4s right there. Primary key is going to be the combination of these 2. So dog ID, owner ID. Those 2 together constitute a identifying primary key. And we'll insert some data. So insert into dog owner. I'm going to supply both dog ID and owner ID. And the values. Well, we're starting at 100. And just go back here and look at the values that we inserted. So owner, 100 is Doug, 101 is Mary. And for dog, 100 and 101 are the 2 Russells, and 102, 103 are the 2 Yorkies. So I'm going to structure this such that the 2 Yorkies are Marys and the 2 Brussels are Dougs. So this might actually be a little easier if I specify these in the reverse order. So owner, dog. So owner, Doug, dog, the first Brussels. Owner, Doug, second Brussels. And then Mary owns the 2 Yorkies. So here we go. Just to get to the history of these commands, by the way, if anyone's wondering, I'm just hitting the up arrow on the keyboard. Up, 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 up until it gets to where I want. All right. source dog source, and there's an error. Dogs.dog owner doesn't exist. So there's something wrong. Oh, that's the second error. That's because this error is because of this error. So this is the primary error I need to deal with. You have an error. Dog ID, owner ID. Let's see. Missing a comma. It's the little things. And there's a crash. So the terminal just went away. And happily, dog source is right there. So close, restart the terminal. I'm going to restart my SQL. And then source dog source. And there it is. We're back to where we were before the crash. And this looked like it worked. So I'm going to do a select star from dog. There are the dogs. Select star from owner. There's the owners. And then select star from dog owner. And there are the dog owners. So this is a very close parallel to milestone 1. As far as the screenshots and evidence and that kind of thing that you've completed this, it would be perfectly fine to do some of these select statements, screenshot them the way many of you have already done, drop them into Word, and then also just to send me the file that you're working on. You can just copy that into Word as well, and just note that I use this to create this database and to create this milestone and to do this assignment, and that to me this is perfectly legitimate evidence that you've completed the assignment. So I hope this helps, and again I apologize for the Codio temporary instability, and I will keep everyone posted as far as the progress on getting it fixed. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Good luck. Talk to you later.